Good afternoon, race fans, and a little bit different here tonight. We are actually jumping into this race live here. We are looking at some of the front runners here, trying to get the old, I think, looks like trade and paints to load. But we're looking at the front of the field here. Dalton Kilrow is our leader on lap 13 of 161, jumping in. Uh, Almost a little bit mid-race here. Had a little bit of issues getting in the track. Couldn't get access up here to the booth on my end. So finally up here, the credentials finally went through, and now we're looking at some pretty good racing. As now James Miller in that '09 machine has caught these front two and trying to apply the pressure now to the 10 machine of TBB. As we have 35 cars show up to the premise here tonight. We are at Homestead as we get a yellow flag here. This will allow me to try and get my things a little bit better, as it looks like the 9 machine of Nick Akie has some damage here, and we'll try and go back. And it looks like as they go into turn number 3, we'll watch the 9 car, see if he got some help. And it looks like from the back of the 76 last week's winner, looks like got into the back of him. A little bit miscommunication, and that's enough to send these things around. As we jump back live and see the leaders, most of them coming on down here. So some early strategy coming into play. As we see James Miller stay out in that '09 machine, and some of the field follows. Looks like it's a pretty split decision here. So we'll have to see how this plays on out. As we get one car gets the wave round, and it's actually the 16 of Ian Habiak. So he will be on the lead lap of this race, as we are a 10th of the way through this thing. As we are under, I believe this is the second yellow of this race. We jumped in, of course, during that first yellow there. Now we had one more, as the 76 machine does claim that does go to the back. So still under pacing here at Homestead. So maybe we'll do a little bit of info here. While we got a second here, we'll pop up on screen some race info. So we're at a half mile, but not quite the cookie cutter that we're used to seeing at big tracks with the D shape. This track is very tricky, has a little bit of progressive banking to it, and can run multiple grooves, but we'll see cars just one groove up on the racing surface, because if you go down below that, there's not too much grip below that first seam on the track, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Looking like a nice sunny day here in Homestead, Florida, with about 77 degrees. Of course, we got to thank some of the Blazing Pedals sponsors here tonight. Of course, the series sponsor itself, TRJ Karting, as well as MF Racing Design, Savage Edge, and Butt Kicker. Be sure to check out TRJ Karting at the website listed below. As it looks like the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car. That means next time by, we will be going green flag racing. As right now we look at the 55 machine, one of the biggest movers. This 55 machine driven by Paul Ellison in that red diamond. He is up 15 positions. But the biggest mover is our leader right now, the Tim Hortons 09 machine, with a little bit of left rear damage to that car. As we are green and back racing here. James Miller in that 09 machine gets a great start, and he will check out here as the rest of the field follows him into turn 1, the 88 on the preferred line as well of Jamie Walker. He gets a awesome run and will close the gap to the 09 machine down the backstretch. As you see all of these cars trying to figure out where there's grip on this track, get out of the air a little bit to the cars in front of them, but leave that gap to the wall as we get side-by-side racing action for the race lead. 88 trying down low, 09 machine going to try and carry the momentum, gets a little bit loose, chases it, but does an awesome job keeping it underneath him as they head back into 3 side-by-side still. As they are still side by side for this race lead, that will open up the door for Jeff Fisher in that 09 machine, now right on the back bumper of the 88. As we look back a little bit further, some heavy traffic here for around 10th, 11th, as some of these cars with newer tires trying to get through this field. We look back at the 10 top flight machine of TBB, one of the cars that did take tires on that last yellow. As we go back up to the front, they have gotten spaced out in a hurry. I think one of them made a mistake, had to jump out of it, and they all collected it, but they all lost some time to the 88 machine of Jamie Walker, who has about a 7/10 of a second lead over James Miller. Now trying to increase that gap. Corey Sherman has been moving in the right direction in that Savage Edge number 3 machine. We'll see if he can keep on moving forwards as he's now got some of the toughest guys in front of him. And we'll go back up to the 10 machine, now up to P number 11. While we're looking at him, because he is the highest runner with those fresh tires, sitting right around 16th here and 11th and trying to get in the top 10 here as the 57 machine of Sam Bumgarden tries to cross him back over and get that spot back. Now stick the 10 car on the outside here. As we now look at the 12 Barbie machine from the wall, cuts it down below the 64 of Josh Rutherford. We already got some race fans cheering on Mark Arthur here in the YouTube chat land, so be sure to keep up. Let me know who you're rooting for tonight. I'm sure we'll see a lot of this 12 car in the chat. As we'll go throw up a little bit of onboard action with the racing action on screen. Not sure exactly who we got in the virtual cockpit tonight, but we'll jump on board and see what this driver could be seeing out here. So as you see, folks, he has this device over his eyes. That's actually his VR rig, so he's racing in virtual racing. You see him look right there. That means the driver inside the car will look right. So some pretty cool stuff to really feel immersed. You don't need the 3 screens like I have. That's how I get around in the virtual sim racing of iRacing. As we're looking at the O2 machine of Race Clark, we'll jump back up to the front where Jamie Walker has checked out here. Was tonight's pole winner, and that is sponsored by Marshall MF Racing Designs, as well as the outside pole sitter. So that 88 machine, a lot of speed in it for Jamie Walker. We'll look back here. Corey Sherman under fire from some cars around him. We got Jason Powell on his inside. The 87 of Cody Gibson now trying to go to the inside. Actually, excuse me, to his outside. As we got the 84 and 50 in the 6 behind them battling side by side. As Corey now down in the preferred groove, but we'll see if he can keep that car, keep the momentum on that 3 car. And he's got a lot of hungry drivers waiting behind him. Almost contact. The 5 car almost got hit in the right rear quarter panel. There wasn't 2 inches between those two going down the backstretch. As we see the 3 cars searching for grip. Goes to the high side. We'll see how it works out as 87 in the preferred line down low. As we hear 1 car calling out, coming down to pits this time, so we'll see some green flag pit stops for all the drivers that did not pit that last yellow. We'll have to see who else will join them, and if everyone can get down cleanly, Looks like so far the '09 machine from second place, as well as the 5, both down pit road. We'll have to assume that we'll see the rest of the field coming down here in a short amount of time. We jump on board with the 88, and he has checked out now with the '09 pitting. Has about 2 3/4 of a second lead over the field, and looking to continue to grow that, as we have second place once again coming on in, this time the 55 machine. But Jason Powell, a man on a mission, up 32 spots, trying to make it 33 as he does get the nose in front of the '06. Will he be able to carry that momentum? It looks like he does, so give P number 2 to Jason Powell, and he is up an impressive 33 positions here in 35 laps. So that man is on a mission and hoping for a yellow to try and catch this leader. As now the 6th machine of Derek Paulson now moves into the 3rd racing position. He has the 5 car to his inside, but that 5 car, one of the earliest to pit. So he is a lap down right there. And don't look too far back here, folks, but we got Mark Arthur inside the top 5. Let's see if he has a little bit more luck this week, as last week he was stuck a lap down the entire time. Every time we get a yellow, would just miss out on the lucky dog. So now making the most of it, up to P number 3. Now looking to try and crack inside that podium as he is racing that 6 car for position. Go back a little bit further in the field, battle for 14th here. Ty Marasco in the 1, and then we got in the 22 Brad Collins. Both of these drivers did pit that last time under yellow flag at lap 15, so they both will be staying out a long time here. As Mark Arthur did get around the 6 car. Now the 6 car dropping on back, now under fire from the 87. So Mark Arthur has now moved into P number 3 tonight. So I'm sure a lot of fans would love to see him get an interview. As the 6 of Derek Paulson able to defend that 4th position over the 86. But here comes the 02 of Race Clark as well, trying to challenge this 86 SRX machine as they come off at turn number 2. Oh, I heard one car get into the wall as we are almost 3 wide here coming off of turn 2. 87 just has to back out of it as it looks like maybe one car with some internet connection issues. As we see them all single file back out by the time of turn 3, but it shows you we can get some pretty crazy racing pretty quickly here at Homestead. The 86 machine hauling down pit road. I don't know if he made it down pit road to pit road speed, I should say, because he was moving. As we go back up to the front-ish of the field, we look at Jason Powell here getting run down by the 12 of Mark Arthur, so that Mark Arthur Barbie machine able to keep the long run speed in this car, and now we'll try and get P number 2. As we see the 18 machine seeing that in his mirror, brings it down pit road, so as well as the race leader, the 88 of Jamie Walker in that time. So that means the 12 car will inherit the race lead and be our race leader as he rips down the fence coming off of turn 2 right there in that air bubble. So we'll have to see if he stays on now. Looks like he'll stay out another lap as the 6 will come in from second place and about 5 other cars as the 12 will for sure lead that lap. As we look, haven't seen him too often tonight, but with this chrome Dodge machine, I think it is. Has Chevy on the back. I take that back. It is a Camaro, now that I look at the headlights a little bit more. The 17 machine of Brian Dees with that next gen numbers move forward machine. As he is another big mover of the race so far, up to P number 3. As we look here around, we'll look for these drivers coming on through the field. We got everyone kind of spread out from this long green flags run, but we got some, of course, some racing action here. As we look at last season's champion, the 54 of Matt Gruenberg, running MP number 4, putting the pressure to Brian Dees as we see Mark Arthur coming in. And same with this 54 machine. So the guys that pitted on 15 now coming in here. So right around 30 laps or so that they can go under green flag conditions, it's seeming like. So we will have to keep in mind as we got to go around the circuit at least 161 times tonight here at Homestead. We see here the 76 coming on in. Same with the 4 machine of Tanner Marr. So a bunch of cars coming in this time by. That puts the 41 machine of Dalton Kilroe, the man that can save when no one else can. Of course, he long pits it and stays out as long as possible with saving that fuel in that machine. So he is out here and going to lead a lap for this 41 machine. So it looks like the 41, 38, and the 7, only cars on track that have not made a green flag stop here. As now it's just the 41 and the 38. As you see there, the difference in speed of the fresh tires as the 5 gets himself back, or the 57, excuse me, of Sam Bumgarden gets himself back on the lead lap there. As the 64 of Rutherford looks to do the same. As the 41 machine stays out another lap, he is pushing that fuel tank to the limit. He's going to have the freshest tires when he does come in to take him. The question is, how much time is he losing to the cars on fresh tires by staying out? All stuff we got to calculate, keep in the back of the mind. Also while we're racing too, because in most cases, the drivers are the crew chiefs for themselves here on the virtual racing of iRacing. As we look a little bit further back here, as we get the call, I believe there, Dalton Kilroe will be pitting in this time by, so that will hand the race lead back over to the 88 of Jamie Walker, as he has the 83 Michelob Ultra machine right on his back bumper of Joe Alberico, trying to get his lap back as well. See him float it down to the bottom of the racetrack. And then one of these cars back here, you see him kind of pressuring the leader here. The 87 machine of Cody Gibson. It looks like he is, I believe, 2 laps down. So I think the 87 machine might have gotten a penalty under those green flag stops, and that's really going to kill his race as he sits P number 34 after being inside for sure the top 10, if not battling in the top 5. So a bummer for that 87 team. We'll see if he can bounce back from that. As we see the 6 car of Derek Paulson all over the back bumper of this 88 machine. You see the speed difference, as I think this 88 machine really backing her down, taking her easy, trying to make sure he's got that long run speed. The 6 says it's go time and becomes our new race leader. Derek Paulson leads at lap number 55 of 160 here at Homestead. As we got some battle in here. Corey Rutherford in the 5, the 57 of Sam Bumgar, and the 3 of Corey Sherman, all under a blanket, almost 3 wide. Corey thinks better of it in the Savage Edge 3 machine and will go back down to the bottom. As we see that 5 car looking like he's pretty tight, worn off that right front as he continues to draw it back. One of the earliest pitters on lap number 33, and that car is showing it. As now we got a battle for the 6th position. TBB down low, Corey Sherman up top. He makes the pass. We'll see if the 3 car decides to cross him back on over. Thinks about it. Not quite enough. And now they'll get around Paul Ellison in that 55 machine. He's keeping it easy, taking care of that right front as they'll both go by him down the backstretch. We'll move the 10 machine back in the top 5 here. Jamie Walker now falls to P number 3, really taking it easy with that 88 machine. That moves Mark Arthur into P number 2. as we see the 51 machine of Josh Sexton, one of the cars on the move, one of the latest pitters. So he's going to have that fresh rubber. As we see one car moving in the other direction, the 84 machine has, one car in the wall. I believe that's the 09 machine of James Miller. Got it in the wall through 3 and 4. That's very easy to do, folks. There is a pretty substantial bump on the top side in 3 and 4 that if you hit it, it's going to send your car straight, because it's going to pretty much act like it's bottoming out and send your car straight into the wall. So you got to navigate not only being right on the fence, not too much room to give and take, but also that bump that's right about there on track. So as we see the 09 machine all the way to from the top side down low and brings it down to pit road, one of the earliest pitters here in green flag pit stops number 2. As we go back up to the front, the 6 machine in some heavy lap traffic now, recatching the 83 as those new tires are wearing off. Just under 2 seconds back, we got Mark Arthur that you just see just about to enter the corner in the back of your screen, but the 6 car under heavy lap traffic here in this race as he puts down the 89 machine of Philip Van Vliet, as well as Terry Forrester. The Taffy man in the 86 machine now goes a lap down. So as they run right now, we got 26 cars on the lead lap. As we see here, the 18 machine of Jason Powell. We saw him all the way up to Pete, number 2, right now running in the 18th position and under fire from the 21 machine of Jordan McAvoy. You see him go down low and also bring Brandon Feeney as well in that liquid molly. Number 38 machine. They almost touch down the backstretch as they both try and get around this 5 car of Corey Rutherford as well. The 5 car will go down low. That will allow the 38 to roll the top side as the 5 car does come down pit road. As we got a battle for 14th on track. John Perkins up top, the 4 machine of Tanner Marr down low with Rick Thompson waiting in the wake, just trying to see what line will clear himself, what line is the preferred line, as the 4 car Tanner Marr has to get on the binders hard because Matt Gruenberg's slow in front of him through 3 and 4. As they're trying to navigate around the 54 as well. That will single file them back out for a second, but this 4 car looking to mount a charge. Yes, he will send it into the corner, put it on the top side, almost put it in the wall. As he tries to reel back in the 33 machine. As now he's up to P, number 12. And we got the 10 car here trying to challenge Sam Bumgarner in the 57 for this 3rd position. He has slowly been catching him. The question is, it's one thing to catch someone. It's one thing to make a pass. So we'll have to see how this works on out here for the podium position, as they both pitted on the same exact lap. So tires are technically the same. It's the question is, how well did they wear them compared to each other? As we see some more cars coming down pit road. As they are back battling here, the '09 machine. He did pit earlier. So it looks like the 4 of Tanner Marr did get around the 33 of John Perkins. Now Rick Thompson, last week's winner, doing the same. So that'll move the 4 car just outside the top 10. Has a big gap to 10th, as it's about 3.5 seconds. As we're getting some 4-car fans up in the chat, so I'm sure Tanner will appreciate that rewatching it. And he likes what he's seeing in the mirror. Those cars battling, that will allow him to get away with also not running as hard to burn up those tires, because these Arca cars, they're on an interesting tire model. They are really heat sensitive, so if you crack them loose, get them sideways, burn up a tire a little bit early, put a few more degrees, it's pretty much impossible to get that back in these cars. So that's why you got to be really conservative, but also still push these cars to a limit, because at the end of the day, it is a race car, and that's what it's meant to do. As we see, Mark Arthur is our race leader, got around Derek Paulson in the 6, as he's trying to put down a lap, the 8 machine of Amanda Sherman. So Mark Arthur, with that long run speed, able to keep that thing going and able to keep that pace up. So he is starting to pull away from the 6 car. Now he's got through the lap traffic. That will allow him to set sail. Already increasing his gap to almost 1.5 seconds. As we look at the 88 machine, we'll see how he cycles on through. Right now 22nd, but he just come down pit road. As he tries to race around, get around as many cars as he can. We look back here, the '09 machine just cleared himself off the nose of the 51 of Josh Sexton. It was close off of turn number 2, but they did get it done. This is the battle for P number 9 as he gets around him here. So give P number 8 to Josh Sexton, as we see the 51 car of Matt Gruenberg carrying the speed. You just see the difference of tires as the 54 just came down pit road. I mean, a lot more grip in these fresh sets of rubber here at Homestead. As we see second place, Derek Paulson down pit road. Now hand second over to the 57 and move the 10 machine up into the podium spots. As we start to approach halfway in this race, folks, we have been clean and green besides 2 early yellow flags. As we see a battle here for around the 14th position. As, one car hard in the wall. I think that's the 84 machine of Matt Hackathorn. He pounded that wall a ton coming off of turn 2 and will probably have some significant damage as he pancaked that right side pretty hard. We'll have to see how that works on out. As a 71 machine of Chris Legou into pits he goes this time. as we see both him and the 84 both down pit road this time, as there was shaping up a battle on track there, but a hard hit. As we see Dalton Kilrow got around the 1 car of Ty Marasco, so that will move the 41 into P number 4. Actually, P number 3 now, Mark Arthur, our race leader, down pit road that time by. So, Dalton Kilrow, Captain Fuel Save, will move up into the podium spot, and I assume will be the longest on track, as we get a yellow flag here in the middle of pit cycles here on lap 77. Oh my goodness. This will throw a wrench in everyone's plans, as I believe the 16 machine of Ian Habiak might have been involved, as he maybe tried to get down pit road. Some sort of miscommunication, but sends the 16 facing the wrong way on the racing surface. That will bring out the yellow flag here and hand the race lead over to the 57 machine of Sam Bumgarn right now with that yellow. The last car on the lead lap right in front of the race leaders will get the wave around is the 12 car of Mark Arthur. So only 14 cars on the lead lap with how that yellow flag cycled on out. During this yellow, folks, we'll watch these cars come down pit road, but we will go throw to our sponsor here of TRJ Karting. Be sure if you need your karting needs fulfilled, check out TRJ Karting, as I'll let the video speak for itself here, and I'll be right back on the other side. As we come back to Homestead Motor Speedway, we're looking at with how everything worked out on track. A few more cars got their spots back with some wave arounds and whatnot, and the lucky dog. And it looks like we have 19 of the 35 cars that started tonight's race will be on the lead lap here once they go green. You see all the cars here that are about to get waved on around in front of the 57. The 57 is the race leader as of right now, but all those cars in front of him will get waved around the pace car with 1 lap to go. Should be right now. We'll see about almost 10 cars get on the loud pedal, try and get a lap back here. As we'll see the field behind him, we'll stack them and re-rack them. As Mark Arthur was right around, I saw we had a question in the YouTube chat lands for the 12. He was right around 12th, but will come in right now under pits, top this thing off on fuel, try and go as long of a distance as he can. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we are going green next time by. Sam Baumgarten will lead this field to green in the 57 machine to his outside. We got TBB, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, in the top flight machine starting in row 2. We got Dalton Kilrow in the 41 to his outside. Ty Marasco in the 1. And rounding out our top 5 here on this restart, the 17 of Brian Dees. So we'll have to see how this order gets shaken up as we bunch them all back up together and get ready to go green at the halfway point in this race. 81 laps down, 81 to go as Sam Baumgarten gets an awesome start. Will clear the field by 3 car lengths here as the 41 machine of Dalton Kilrow will be side by side with the 10 going into turn number 1. As Dalton Kilrow gets on the loud pedal, gets big time loose, spins in front of the field, will spin down out of the way, will keep that thing somehow off the wall. That was an impressive save, even though he spun it to keep that car clean. Of course, when he spun, it was off the racing surface, so no yellow flag. And that, with that craziness down the backstretch, that moves the 88 machine of Jamie Walker all the way up to P number 2, with the 51 machine of Josh Sexton following the way in up into P number 3. Just goes to show you folks how loose this setup is under fresh tires, not being used to it, and it will catch you off guard as we are 3 wide into turn number 3 here. Trying to find space for all of these race cars on track. As everyone knows, it's go time with everyone being bunched up. The easiest time to make up positions is on a restart. The question is, how aggressive do you want to be? How much do you want to punish these tires? Because you can pay for it in a hurry with these Arca cars. As we see these drivers still battling for 7th, 8th, and 9th. We got Tanner Marr, Brad Collins, and John Perkins all under a blanket. As it looks like Brad Collins able to clear the 4 car. As we'll see if the 4 car will try and fight back. We'll go to the high side. We'll see how much momentum he can carry. As we go back to right around 15th position, Corey Sherman trying to make his way back through this field. We see almost 3 wide action behind him. James Miller trying to get around the 71 machine of Chris Legou and Ian Habiak. See the 09 machine wrapping that inside line. 16 all the way against the fence, carrying that momentum. See just how much momentum that they can carry. The high side can produce such big runs. The question of it, can you be consistent enough to not get the wall or blow off your tires? That's always the trickiest part. As TBB able to reclaim second position as having to get out of it with Dalton getting loose in front of him. So he is back to P number 2. Josh Sexton remains in P number 3, but Jamie Walker dropping a little bit here mid-run. Maybe he doesn't have the mid-run speed he wants to see in this Menards car, as it looks like the 5 car with a bit of an issue. We'll have to see what happens. Down on the inside already with Terry the Taffy Man Forrester. Not sure what happened there, but that has retired the 5 car. As we look here, the 22 of Brad Collins able to get around, bringing Race Clark with him. And the 88s loses some more positions here, so the handling of this Menards 88 machine not trending in the direction he wants it to. So with the field bunched up a little bit here, folks, I think we'll go maybe do a little bit of Crank It Up. What do you guys think? I think it'll be a good time to show the sights and sounds here at Homestead. So we'll be right back here and let the racing speak for itself. As we see here, folks, we during that Crank It Up, we got our yellow flag there, and I believe for some of the fans in YouTube chat land, I believe that involved the 4 machine of Tanner Marr. We'll go back to the replay and see what happened. We got almost 3 wide there. The 06 machine trying to keep it off there, and just got a little bit loose. And just got the right rear, got it again for the 4 car, and then turned him into the outside wall head on, made some pretty substantial contact with the nose of that 4 machine. So Tanner Marr involved in this yellow flag, as he will have some damage to almost all 4 corners of that butt kicker machine. Has some interesting strategy here, folks. The 57 and the 22, as well as the 3, only cars that stayed out. I would assume that they would have came in. So interesting call here as they stay out and gamble that they'll get another yellow, hopefully around in 10 laps or so. But the rest of the field will come in, get 4 fresh tires, and fill it up with Sunoco race fuel. as we see the next group of cars come down pit road. Be able to pit. I believe it's about 2 laps to go. So during this yellow, we'll take a moment and show our other sponsor for this great series of Blazing Pedals. We got MF Racing Designs. We'll let them take over the show for a minute. Alrighty folks, we are back here. The lights are extinguished on the virtual iRacing pace car. That means next time by we will be going green flag racing here. And of course, you saw it there at the end of that video. Be sure to check out Michael Falk Racing Designs on Facebook and get all your iRacing paint schemes needs. We saw a few cars out here in his promo video, like the 33 machine of John Perkins. So he does some awesome paint schemes. I tell you what, they look awesome and stand out here in the booth. As the front row looking like Sam Bumgarn and Brad Collins. It looks like Sam elects to take the top side and will start on the outside of the 22. Row number 2 will be made up of Corey Sherman and the 10 machine of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He took tires on that pit stop. We'll restart P number 4, so we'll expect to see that 10 car with some great pace here, as he'll probably pass these guys on old tires very easily. As we now wait for the iRacing pace car to head down pit road. It does. We wait for the 57 to fire off, and we are green flag racing here at Homestead once again. This is race number 2 of the 32 season. Excuse me. 32 race season of Blazing Pedals Arca series. So be sure to tune into most Sundays, as we'll be live here bringing you the action here as we see the 10 car down low, taking it easy, getting around these cars, trying to save his stuff, as he had to use a set of tires, of course, coming down pit road with that. As the 76 machine might have had an incident, so last week's winner looking like he has a tough break here at Homestead, as that car is down pit road while we're still under green flag race conditions. As we see a battle for second place, Corey Sherman down low, Taylor Butcher Benjamin up top here for P number 2. And that's what this 57 machine of Sam Bumgarn wants to see in his mirror. These guys battling, slowing themselves up so that he can drive away and try and get a big of a gap as he can. And don't look too far back. The 51 machine been showing some great speed here before halfway. We'll see if he can continue it. That's the 51 of Josh Sexton. As we see the 3 machine get around the 10, so the top 3 will be the 57, 3, and the 10. But Matt Gruenberg, last season's champion, ripping that top side, keeping that momentum going. The question is his tires handling this speed? Because he is flying around this racetrack right now and looking to get as many positions as he can, as he floats it in there to the back bumper of the 10 here. and looking to get on around him as we'll go on board of the 5 machine. Or sorry, 54 machine. As we'll go to the TRJ Karting onboard, as we'll see him work that wheel and try and reel in these leaders as he looks to the inside of the 3 going down the backstretch. As we hear him very early on that throttle, not even to the apex, he's rolling on that loud pedal, carrying those momentum, and he is one of the fastest cars on track right now, and not looking to slow down until those tires can't give any bit more. We'll look at the lap history here, about 3/10 to the leader in front of him every lap. So this 54 machine is moving. The question is he burning up his stuff too early? Only time will tell us that one. As we see the battle for the race lead, the 54 will go to the inside of the 57. And we'll have a drag race here. I don't think the 57 will put up too much of a fight being on the older tires. As we hear that 54 machine just scrubbing those tires as well. But keeping a blistering fast pace here to lead the field now. See him get a little bit loose there, had to turn the wheel just ever so slightly to the right. See that car get a little bit of yaw in it, so as he straddles that inside seam, trying to get some rotation, but not too much. That's the fine line here at Homestead. Trying to push it to its limit, but not over the limit. The 54 machine has started to check out ever so slightly. The 10 machine running in for just kind of biding his time. Then we got some battles up here. Looks like the 09 machines of James Miller trying to unlap himself the hard way. We'll have to see. As most everyone has single filed out in this race. Trying to just keep their race cars underneath them. We look a little bit further back in this field. We got the 38 and the 21 machine side by side for 12th and 13th. Brandon Feeney, as we jump on board with him, trying to get a run on Jordan McAvoy, but not able to do it. That could leave the door open for the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher. Jeffrey Fisher is currently the first car a lap down, so he is looking for a yellow flag to get that lucky dog and to get back on the lead lap. Now it looks like the 88 machine under fire from the 18 machine is currently the second car a lap down in this race. So not racing for position, but the 18 machine of Jason Powell can unlap himself the hard way if this pit cycle works on through there. You see the 88 get a great corner there to the inside of the 51 going down the backstretch. So this is the battle for Pete number 4. As that 88 machine, maybe the driver did some improvements there, figured out a different driving style, because now mid-race, this 88 Menards machine has some awesome speed as he moves up into Pete number 4. as we see him on the bumper of this '09 machine. That '09 machine is a laps down. That is James Miller. But that 10 car is not, so that is the battle for third position. As the 88 just gets to the outside, the 10 car not able to shut the door, and that will give the position to Jamie Walker down the back stretch. So the 88 up into P number 3 at a podium spot. We'll see if he's able to keep it as we complete that time by lap 111 of 161. Looking back a little bit deeper in this field, the 12 machine of Mark Arthur has been playing the fuel strategy game, pitting on the very last lap of yellow, trying to see how far he can stretch this 12 Barbie car machine. But he is once again inside the top 10 here at Homestead. As these guys will probably have to get to right around lap 125 or so to make it to the end on fuel, if my math is correct. So we'll have to see who can stretch it to there and see if they can do it in just one stop, or if we'll have to break it up into two. As we see the 57 machine did not pit that last time. We'll have to come into pits this time, but Matt Gruenberg out in his own island has about 4-second lead over Jamie Walker, and sitting in clean air just on a Sunday drive out here leading the race. We look here, the 57 machine trying to keep up his pace. He is currently the first car a lap down. And oh, interesting here, folks, as we jump on board with the 12. A little bit of clutching action, a little bit of shutting off the car, as he is in big time fuel saving mode. So I wonder who else is doing that much out here on track, because he is in big time fuel save mode. As the 06 looks to his inside, that is not for position, so we'll see most likely Mark Arthur give it on up pretty easily. As we see the gap to the race leader, you see that yellow car all in the distance there, just in the middle of turn 4 now. So that's the distance of about 4 seconds here at Homestead. So quite a long distance from second place, who we're looking at here, Jamie Walker, to our race leader of Matt Gruenberg. Look here at the Mopar machine of Philip Van Fleet. Has been a little bit of struggle for this Dodge Mopar machine, as he is currently running in P28. Getting stuck a lap down, but keeping that car clean for the most part. Looks like all 4 corners on the thing intact, so doing his job right there as a race driver. It's not quite the speed that they were hoping for tonight. see the 41 machine of Dalton Kilroe now back up inside the top 10. We saw him have that spin from second place on that restart. Has rebounded nicely. Now back up into P number 10. We'll have to see what this 41 machine has. See what lap he can stretch it to, because he is Captain Fuel Save. As they battle behind him, but that 64 is a lap down, so it is not for position. As we click over to lap 120 of 161 here. Matt Gruenberg leads the way. Jamie Walker in second. Paul Ellison in third. Josh Sexton in fourth. Jordan McAvoy in fifth. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is running sixth. Seventh, Mark Arthur. Derek Paulson is in eighth. John Perkins in is ninth. And then rounding out our top 10, the driver we're looking at here, the 41 machine of Dalton Kilroe. As you see a big pack forming here. Dalton is racing that 33 machine that is stuck up top there, and the 6 that's leading this pack, so he is in the preferred group that seems to be moving pretty good, but all sorts of lap traffic in here, as well as the O2 tries to get his lap back on fresh tires. That's the O2 machine of Race Clark. So some big time battling here with all sorts of different strategy. What I love to see. Look at the 51 machine right now is the biggest mover of the race so far, up 28 positions, as he is running in the 5th position out on track. You see Mark Arthur 3 wide there for a second. We see the 10 machine down pit road that time by, so that'll move Mark up into the next car behind the 51 that we're just looking at. So Mark Arthur is now up to 6th position. Almost gets the wall there with their right rear. Keeps it going in the right direction. As we are in the thick of it for green flag stops, and our race leader, Matt Gruenberg, down pit road. So he will be one of the earliest to make it. And he made it to 125, so it'll be close if he can make it to the end of the race. He'll be right there on fumes. As the 88 is down this time as well, same with the 55 from second place. So we see a lot of takers down pit road. Also the 51 will be diving that thing down pit road. That will hand the race lead over to the 12 machine of Mark Arthur. So Mark will inherit the lead with Dalton Kilroe just under a second behind him. Then about a second and a half behind him, we got Derek Paulson and Ty Marasco right there as well. So we'll have to see how long these guys can stretch it, because they can make it a few more laps. They won't have to worry about fuel as much as the cars that pit in front of them, as well as get a tire advantage with being on fresher tires at a later pace if they got the long run speed. That is always the question. You gotta weigh your pros and your cons as a race car driver or a crew chief. If you're doing it all by yourself, you know, you got some short run speed, you might as well short pit a little bit, try and get the advantage while you can. If you got long run speed, stay on out, get those tires as late as you can. Mark Arthur maybe got the wall down the backstretch, does an awesome job taking it off the wall, because as you see there a little bit, these cars all yawed out in the right rear. What that means is if you get the wall, that car will get sucked on in, and if it gets sucked in enough where you tag the right front as well, that car becomes, as I like to say, wall glued in the wall. It's very hard to pull on off, as we see that with the 21 there. You see how far he had to come off that wall to get unstuck. You really have to yank these cars to get them around us. Oh, they take the air off the back of Mark Arthur's spoiler and gets him loose. With all this battling around him, that has opened up the door to the 41 machine, now about 3 car lengths back. So we might have a battle for the race lead here shortly, folks. Dalton Kilrow a little bit lower through the corners. As that time they both hit the bottom, both hit that seam, but the 41 machine lower on exit, able to keep that thing. Oh, Mark Arthur with a big wiggle. Is he out of fuel, folks? He is very slow on pace here, so some trouble for this 12 car late in this race, as Dalton Kilrow will take over the race lead. The 87 machine of Cody Gibson gets a lap back there. As we see the 1 car of Ty Marasco will bring it down pit road, and of course the man that can save the fuel will be the last car out on track that has not pitted, the 41 machine of Dalton Kilrow. I believe over the radio chatter as I'm listening here, folks, he will be coming in this time by. So when he brings it down pit road, he does it cleanly. So a good beginning to the stop. That will hand over the race lead to Matt Grunberg once again in that Nike 54 machine. Sam Baumgarten will resume the second position in the Michael Falk Heinz Ketchup 57 machine, and then Corey Sherman in the Savage Edge machine will be running in P number 3. Fourth place is looking like it's Jamie Walker in the 88, and then Brad Collins in the 22 will round out our top 5. Now that green flag pit cycles have cycled all the way through. Looks like now there's some more cars a lap down with those green flag pit cycles. Now only 16 cars are on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap, it looks like it is Brian Dees in the 17 machine, trying just to stay ahead of the race leader. As you see, just off in the distance, I want to say about 5 seconds or less behind him. So 17 needs to keep up the pace to not go a lap down late in this race. As you see, there is the distance. It's a 54 of Matt Grunberg looking to put the 8 machine of Amanda Sherman another lap down. So not the race we want to see for the Miss Shermanator. as she is currently running P number 30. As we jump on board here, 12th running driver Derek Paulson in the 6th. We heard there clutching it and shutting it off as well. So the 6th machine in big time fuel saving mode. As it looks like a lot of these drivers will be close on field. We'll have to see how it all shakes on out. As this time at the stripe, it's 26 laps to go here at Homestead for race number 2 from the Blazing Pedals Arca series. As we got a battle for second position, Jamie Walker to the inside of the 54. As Ian Habiak maybe kisses the wall there to the outside of second and third. So hand over P number 2 to Jamie Walker. Sam Bumgarden will fall back to P number 3. And I heard here over the radio, folks, the 3 machine will be pitting. So I would have to imagine it's going to be a short pit stop for this team, try and keep it on pit road as short as possible, because once he pits here, he can make it to the end of the race. We haven't talked about him too much here. We got the 46 machine of Fred Thompson running that Dodge Arca car, currently in the 29th position here, keeping that car clean, but has found himself a lap down a few times when the yellow flags have come out. So he's out here having a good time though. As we see the 6th machine of Derek Paulson trying to run away from the one there of Ty Marasco, as well as catch the 41 of Don Kilrow. We got 2 cars down pit road that time, the 10 and the 21, making their way down for their final scheduled stops. As we see the 55 machine of Paul Ellison catching the 57 machine and applying the pressure now. So this 55 machine, we've seen him all over the scoreboards here tonight, and back up inside the top 5, maybe even the top 3 when it counts here with 21 laps to go. As we see the 55 go high, the 57 down low. 57 will bring it down pit road for their final scheduled stop of the night. That will hand P3 over easily to Paul Ellison. And then a little side race we can keep an eye on that's just on screen here. The 09 machine and the 12. Both these cars looks like 11th and 12th, but they are racing to be the lucky dog, as the 09 machine currently has it of James Miller. But Mark Arthur, I'm pretty sure he did end up sputtering a little bit on fuel, so he looks to the inside. And this is the battle for the lucky dog, as we got Jamie Walker and Matt Grunberg both down pit road. So that would just leave Paul Ellison out on his strategy here, and that is the next car in front of the 12 on screen. So now we have to see when this 55 machine does come in for fuel, or if he comes in for tires as well. As this time by at the stripe, we get 18 laps to go here from Homestead. And we got one car off track, not sure what happened there, but as we got maybe a battle shaping up for the 4th position. Ty Marasco and John Perkins. As Shelly, the 3 car is out of pit road right now in the 14th position, trying to wait for the rest of the cars to come on down pit road, but he is 3rd of the cars that pitted around him as of right now. Sorry, excuse me, 2nd of the cars that pit around him as of right now. So if the other cars do end up having to come into pit road, expect the 3 car to hopefully get shuffled back right around the top 5. We go back up to the front. Paul Ellison leading this way in this 55. Red Diamond machine. As Josh Sexton is in P number 2 right now. Dalton Kilroe is in P number 3. We'll have to see if they can make it on fuel, but not really catching the leader as Josh is all the way 9 seconds back, and then Dalton about 2.5 seconds behind him. So they are on their own strategy, just trying to baby these cars. We'll jump on board with the 41 here and try and listen to see how much he's lifting, how much he's fuel saving. As most likely we'll hear this car shut off on entry here, as we actually don't. So maybe the 41 machine is in the green for the fuel and says it's go time. Turn up the wick, doesn't need to save any more. As we see him catching. Getting around a lap car there will be to his outside, but 41 machine not in any sort of fuel saving mode, and he's actually catching the 51 machine. He's running a little bit faster laps. We'll look just how fast here on the screen here. So right around half a second each lap before, now 0.2 of a second. So he is closing the gap to the 51 machine. So maybe the 51 needing to save a little bit more fuel than the 41. We have to see how this plays out, as next time by at the line, it will be 11 laps to go. As we'll get one more data point as we jump out here from the onboard and see another 0.3 knocked off to the car in front of him. So Dalton Kilroe is a man on a mission, trying to catch that 51 gray, yellow, and black machine there up in front of him. See, the 33 machine of John Perkins is down pit road here, so having to make a late stop It's that time by Flagman. 2 open palms at the flag stand. 10 laps to go here at Homestead. This race has seen it all. Now we'll get into the fun strategy portion of the race. Who saved enough? Who didn't? Who made the right call? Who made the wrong call? We'll all find out in 9 laps or less as the 55 crosses the stripe here to bring us to single digits to go. As we see the 3 car as well as the 02 both get their lap back, and the 57 has contact coming off of turn 2. That involved the 3 and the 57, so some hard contact. Both of them in the wall, both of them off the racing surface, so that will not bring out a yellow flag. So tough break for both of those drivers late in this race, both trying to get around the leader, get their lap back as quickly as possible. Because as of right now, we only have 10 cars on the lead lap, about to be 11, when this 10 car of TBB gets around the 55 here, most likely here in 3 and 4. As we see Don Kilroe to the inside of the 51. This is the battle for second place here with 8 laps to go. Don able to close that 2.5 second gap when we started watching him on screen. Now the 51 machine not going to make it on fuel. Brings it down pit road for a late stop. I think it's got to be a splash and go only. Try and lose as little spots as possible. The 41 machine of Don Kilroe has to keep his pace up though. We got Matt Gruenberg about 4.5 seconds behind second place, so he's got to run better than him. As we see the leader here pitting with 7 laps to go. That'll hand the race lead over to Don Kilroe. And he's just going to have to make sure he keeps enough pace, doesn't lose more than half a second a lap to the 54 of Matt Gruenberg, because this man is on a mission. On fresh tires, did pit, does have enough fuel, so he is about 4 seconds back to the race leader, and this will be the battle for the race lead. We'll see if the 41 of Don Kilroe played his cards right, if he got the strategy nailed down. As this time by, we get the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go. You see out the corner right side of your screen, that bright yellow machine is Matt Gruenberg. And that time by, folks, he maybe closed up what he needed to do. We'll go back and try and see what the times are saying. Last time by half a second, so he is hitting his marks, what he needs to do. He needs to get around this 57 machine as quickly as possible. As he now gets held up just slightly. This may be the break that the 41 needs, because that time by only 4/10 to the good, as he is still stuck behind this 57 machine. As he looks to the inside, we'll get around him here, but he is 3 seconds back from the race leader. He's going to need at least a second a lap to have a shot, so I think the 54 will just run out of time. If the 41 got his cards right and does not run out of fuel late in this race, we'll go back up to the front of this field. Don Kilroe, we'll see 3 laps to go that time by. As well as the one machine of Ty Marasco. We'll have to see if he played his cards right as well. Pitted 3 laps earlier than the 41, so he's got to be super close on fuel. As that time by, we see popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go for Don Kilroe. So Ty has to really save these last couple laps if he wants to bring it home in the podium position. Up 31 spots if he finishes in that third position. Has about 5 seconds to 4, so he can really baby that car and make sure he brings it home under power. But we'll look at the race leader. Captain Fuel Save might be able to get it done as he's just under 2 seconds over the 54 as we see the white flag here at Homestead for race number 2. One more lap to go. Sponsored by Savage Edge. As we see the 41 machine navigates turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Has quite a bit of lap traffic both in front and behind him, but it won't be close enough to make a difference unless something freak happens as the 41 machine floats that thing through 3 and 4 for the final time. He will come off at turn number 4 and he will see the checkered flag here. He is under power. The 41 machine of Dalton Kilroe saves enough to get the win here tonight. Second place goes to Matt Gruenberg in the 54. And third place will go to our biggest mover, Ty Marasco, in the 1 machine. Is able to bring it home in P number 3. Wow, what a race, folks. We had all sorts of stuff unfolding there at the end. I could barely keep track of it all. So an awesome win for this 41 team. A big strategy win here tonight. And we'll see him burn it down on the front stretch for all the fans here. We'll go to commercial, and then when we come back, we'll talk to our top 3 finishers. As we see him burning on down for the fans, all the 41 fans out at home, Dalton Kilroe able to get it done here tonight. And now we will go to commercial and we'll be right back on the other side with some interviews.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
As we come back here to the speedway here, folks, we are going to be talking to our third place finisher, Ty Marasco. We'll try and talk to Ty here. Ty, you got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
Alrighty, Ty. You did some awesome tire saving here. Got it done and bringing it home in the podium position. How was this one car here tonight, and how close were you there on your fuel at the end?
One car was pretty good all night. It took a while. Started towards the back. It took a while to get up towards the front, and then pit cycles and everything. We had about a lap and a half left in the tank. We're saving a little bit that last run. We saved big time the run before it, and then saved a little bit the last run. We had a lap and a half left.
Wow, so pretty close on fuel. Yeah, it looked like you pitted about 3 laps earlier than the 41 machine, so I was like, oh, I don't know how close Ty is on fuel. He's got to be pretty close, so an awesome job saving that fuel on that one car. How was the track here tonight? It seemed like you could run wherever you wanted, but it seemed like the preferred line was down low. What'd you think?
I think early on, a lot of guys try to utilize the top lane, but then, I was using the top lane about the first couple runs of the race. It was working. It was kind of like a little iffy to go to the low line, but once it turned nighttime, that low line was just hooking.
Yeah, it did seem like that's where you needed to be to run the fast laps there at the end. So, Ty, it seemed like you were all over the scoreboard tonight. What was kind of the strategy? It seemed like you were one of the longest cars to stay out on fuel. Was that the case all night, trying to make it the long run and not short pit for the tire advantage?
Yeah, we were all in the fuel mileage game, and definitely the team MFRD was definitely heavy on the fuel mileage game, as you see by Dalton winning. I want to say congratulations to Dalton for winning that. That's awesome. But yeah, we're definitely on the fuel more than the tire. Hoping for no cautions because we get beat on tires.
Yep, that is the case. So an awesome job making it with the fuel to the end and bringing home P3. You were the biggest mover tonight, Ty, showing that qualifying doesn't matter as much as some may think for the Blazing Pedals Arca series.
Yeah, biggest mover is nice. But, my nickname's No Practice. I didn't really practice much. So, hey, I got 3rd place. So, I don't know. Maybe it's still working. Maybe I'll keep doing it. It's just my ritual. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Yeah, you're always one of the lowest, if not the lowest, for minimum practice laps done. So you come out here and can just wheel the car from the green flag. So once again, Ty, awesome race. Congrats on the 3rd place. But before we let you go, I'm sure there's got to be a whole bunch of people you got to thank for this one team here tonight.
Yeah. Like thank Michael Falk MF Racing Designs. This MFRD Mustang was fast tonight, and definitely want to shout out to him. Check him out on Facebook. He does a great job with his paints. I want to thank Tim, TRJ Karting, putting on another season in the league. I want to thank Turn 3. You guys do a great job. Butt Kicker, also. I won one of those last year, so definitely got to thank them for coming on with this league again. And to Mark, putting on another season for Blazing Pedals. We had fun tonight. Hopefully 3rd place. Hopefully next time we get 2nd or 1st. I don't know. Maybe we'll win one.
Yep, but Ty, it's always good talking to you. This is the 2nd time now we talked to you in the interview booth, so hopefully we'll talk to you as the season goes on. And yeah, hopefully we'll see this one car some point in victory lane. So Ty, you have yourself a good rest of the night.
Thank you, Brett.
Alrighty, that was our 3rd place finisher, Ty Marasco. Now we'll go try and talk to the 2 car of Matt Gruenberg. We'll have to see if he's got a copy here. Matt, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yep.
Alrighty, Matt. How was that car at the end? You were one of the fastest, especially in those closing laps, but just not enough time to catch that 41 machine. What was it like in the cockpit as those laps wind on down here tonight?
Yeah, there's just too much traffic in between me and the 41 there at the end. I think we could have caught him if had a little bit more clean track in front of me between me and him. But a few of the cars slowed me up a little bit, and I think that was the difference maker. And also, I think I should have came in a couple laps earlier on the first little green flag run there we had there at the end and on the first stop. But 2nd place, we had good speed, and we'll take that.
Exactly, Matt. It was an awesome job because just like most of the guys in the top 5, it seemed like we found you all over the scoreboards tonight, all the way leading, of course, and then all the way right around mid-20th, mid-pack. What was kind of the strategy going into this race for this 54 car? It seemed like you had a lot of speed, especially in the short run.
Yeah, the strategy was just to save as much tires as I could early on, and then kind of keep all my tire sets towards the end, and which it worked out for us. I know we got caught a lap down at one point, but we got it back with a fortunate yellow, and then we were just kind of at the front of the field there for a while there, and just kind of made the wrong strategy call there at the end. I didn't think it was going to be a one stopper. I thought it might have been a little too much for them to stretch it one stop to the final race, and then losing time to the fresh tires on 2 stops, but it turned out to be about a 1.5, 2 second difference. So it was pretty close either way. I think it could have been a coin flip. Something the 41 gets held up here by a slow car. Maybe I don't get held up by a slow car on one of the corners or a lap car. I think it really could have gone either way. So.
Yep, yeah, for sure. If there was another 5 laps, Matt, you would have been up there and probably just blown by the 41 with those new tires. So it was a close strategy nonetheless. But an awesome job still bringing it home P2 tonight. Before we let you go, Matt, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people you got to thank for this 54 team here tonight.
Yeah, as usual, the Team AV guys, they're always coming in strong here and coming in great with the paint schemes each week. Specifically, James Miller, Jeffrey Fisher, they do an amazing job in the paint booth getting these cars ready for each race. And the rest of the Team AV, Race Clark, I think he had a really good run tonight. And Jordan McEvoy and Matt Hackathorn, I think he had some issues tonight, but hopefully he'll turn it around next week. And then Randy McEvoy, I think, yeah, he had a good run tonight as well. So shout out to the Team AV guys.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, congratulations on the runner-up finish. I know you wanted that one spot more with leading those laps and being pretty dominant in the second half. But I have a gut feeling telling me that we'll be talking some more with these podium finishes coming up as the season progresses.
Yep. Hopefully we can turn this into a win next week.
Alrighty, Matt. Congrats on the second place. And, yep, hopefully see you one spot better here in the future. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that was our second place finisher, Matt Gruenberg. Now we'll go down to our TRJ victory lane and talk to Dalton Kilrow. We'll get him caught on up here and see what he has to say. Dalton, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, I do, man.
Alrighty, so you are Captain Fuel Save and getting it done again tonight with the long strategy. Able to play your cards right and walk home with the victory. How you doing in this 41 car here tonight?
Well, I after that whole caution right around the stage break at halfway, it was I needed a little redemption after that, looping it in front of the field out of turn 2 like an idiot. But just had the cautions play right. I knew from earlier on when I was just testing it to see what it would do, that I could go a good amount and save to the point where I didn't have to do any sort of attempt to save fuel or any second pit stop, and I could just go on my tires. And sure enough, that was all I needed to be able to just hold on enough, because I saw Gruenberg coming, and I knew if we had a couple more laps, I probably would have ran out of fuel, and he probably would have blown right by me. So I got lucky tonight, but I will obviously take it.
Yep, you got to take them any way you can get them, and this was a great win by you, an awesome strategy from the crew chief and the driver all being in one here for iRacing, so an awesome job here. But yeah, Don, a little bit more on those emotions. We saw you loop it right around, like you're saying, halfway, and then to go and regain everything. You somehow kept it off the wall. I don't know how you did that. You came within inches of smacking that wall. But how was the emotions tonight from those highs and those lows? Because you had an awesome rebound to, of course, park it in victory lane.
Yeah. I mean, I knew there was still a long way to go, so I wasn't like too bummed out about it. But I knew I had done some serious damage to the tires that I had on it, and I didn't want to overreact to it, but I didn't want to just sit there and just let whatever happen. So I was I was just trying to manage everything and stay about as monotone as I really could. Of course, I beat myself up for a couple laps just because of like, dang it, how could I be that stupid? But it was just again, luckily able to make that recovery, and it did get a little tense towards the end there because I do know that uh, quite a few of the teammates I had with MFRD, um, they were uh, they were helping me a little bit with the strategy, and they were also all kind of all over the track, and they were going, "Oh crap!" just about every like 3 laps, and at just every time I was just like, "Please, don't be a caution." And then once that white flag came out, and I actually crossed the line for the flag, it was just all that stress was gone.
Oh yeah, Dalton, because especially while you're leading, you're starting to tell yourself, man, the caution's coming. Just when is it coming? When is it coming?
Yeah, if the caution had come out, I was done for. But again, got lucky. We were able to go green there for those last 60 something laps, and just again held on for it.
Yeah, an awesome win. Impressive strategy once again from this 41 machine. So, Dalton, how much fuel did you have crossing that start-finish line?
Crossing start finish line, I had about 4/10 of a gallon, so about 2 laps, give or take. So I was okay in case the green white checker had happened, but in terms of tires, that's where I was gonna get swamped by the field because I saw Gruenberg again closing in, 6, 7 tenths at least a lap, and I wouldn't have been able to fight that.
Yeah, he was definitely on a mission and got a little bit held up, and then that was enough for this 41 machine to take home the win. But, Dalton, before we let you go and celebrate this thing down in victory lane, I'm sure there's got to be a whole bunch of people you got to thank here tonight.
Yeah. First off, I got to start off with Daddy's Barbershop. Been title sponsor for me for a good couple years now, and they're sticking with me. I don't know why they stick with me, but they're sticking with me. I thank Michael Falk, everybody at Michael Falk Racing Designs, and everybody at MFRD Racing. Got to thank Savage Edge Graphics. I got to thank the Butt Kicker. I got to thank, oh God, I got to thank everybody at BPL for putting the league on. Some great racing from everybody that showed up tonight, and you and everybody else at Turn 3 for putting on the broadcast for us, and hope everybody at home enjoyed it.
Alrighty, thanks, Dalton. Once again, congratulations on the big win. I'm sure we'll be talking to you sometime here in the future, but an impressive run, an impressive fuel saving as we get the first taste of the big fuel saving and the awesome job you do in this 41 machine. So look forward to talking to you here in the future as the season progresses.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, Dalton Kilroe, in the 41 machine, bringing it home in P number 1. As we will go start wrapping up tonight's race, we'll go through the running order, all that good stuff, and then we'll go down to victory lane, celebrate a little bit with Dalton, because I'm sure it's a big party down in that 41 camp. So, tonight's race results look like the following here for race number 2 at Homestead. Dalton Kilroe in the 41 machine. For MFRD Racing, parks it in victory lane. Matt Gruenberg in the 54 brings it home P2. And rounding out our top 3, Ty Marasco in the 1, tonight's biggest mover. 4th place goes to Jamie Walker in the 88. And rounding out our top 5, Derek Paulson in the 6. Brian Dees in the 17 machine brings it home in 6th. 7th is Mark Arthur in the 12. A pretty impressive rebound from running out of fuel there, I believe, at the end. Not sure if that truly happened. We'll have to maybe ask him some other time and see what happened with that 12 car there. But it looked like running out of fuel from my perspective. Race Clark in the 02 brings it home in 8th. 9th goes to TBB in the 10 machine, and rounding out our top 10, Paul Ellison in the 55 machine. 11th goes to Brad Collins in the 22. 12th is Jordan McAvoy in the 21. Josh Sexton in the 51 brings it home 13th. 14th is Sam Bumgarden in the 57. 15th is John Perkins in the 33 machine. 16th is Corey Sherman in the 3. Tanner Marr in the 4 will bring it home 17th. 18th is Jason Powell in the 18 car. Brandon Feeney in the 38th brings it home 19th. And rounding out our top 20 finishers, James Miller in the 09 machine. Josh Rutherford in the 64 brings home 21st. 22nd is Jeffrey Fisher in the 06. 23rd is Matt Hackathorn in the 84. Chris Legou in the 71 machine brings it home 24th. 25th is Cody Gibson in the 87. Joe Alberico in the 83 brings it home 26th. Randy McAvoy in the 7 brings it home 27th. 28th is Philip Van Fleet in the 89. Fred Thompson in the 46 machine brings it home 29th. Amanda Sherman in the 8 brings it home 30th. 31st is Ian Habiak in the 16. 32nd is Rick Thompson in the 76. Corey Rutherford in the 5 brings it home 33rd. 34th is Terry the Taffy Man Forrester in the 86. And Nicholas Akie in the 9 will bring it home in 35th position. So another strong field. 35 cars around Homestead here tonight. Was action-packed, drama-filled, and of course some great strategy played on out with Dalton Kilroe managing to have enough fuel and enough pace to beat last season's champion Matt Gruenberg. This has been Brett the Jet here in the booth from Turn 3 Racing Network. It's got to give a big shout out to TRJ Karting, MF Racing Design, Savage Edge, and Butt Kicker, all bringing you blazing pedals for this season. So be sure to check out all of them for whatever needs you may have. And of course, everyone, got to give a big shout out to all the live viewers, all the replay viewers, all the people in the YouTube chat lands. Always look forward to jumping on this Sunday night and interacting with every single one of you. Everyone, have yourself a great rest of your night. And we will be live next week here at the same place, same time. Everyone have a good rest of your night and take care. Just flew by you. Good night.